So Mike, I want to ask you a couple things just about flat picking guitar in general.
Mm-hmm.
As everybody, well, as a lot of my totally guitars, folks know, I really specialize in fingerstyle and things like that, and that was something that we sort of went I went in that direction. You kind of went off in the bluegrass flat picking direction and stuff, which is why this is such a perfect guitar for you too, because it's got that sound, and this is absolutely, or not necessarily the best guitar for me for the kind of stuff I play, But so flat picking guitar, a lot of the techniques are similar to like rock guitar or what we call. Tell me about flat picking guitar, bluegrass guitar.
Well,
whatever.
flat picking, it's a term that kind of technically speaking, it means it's using a pick rather than your fingers to play. You hold it kind of loosely. Flat picking it's kind of there's not a lot of tension involved or a huge amount of force, but it's alternating pick strokes to articulate the melody, as opposed to doing a finger style where you're using all the fingers kind of in a pattern to create the melody. In flat picking, the pick is generally alternating between downstrokes and upstrokes. Now, often when you change strings, you'll find yourself having to do 2 upstrokes in a row or 2 downstrokes. It's not strict. It's like being able to transition from one string to another and maintain the pattern smoothly is important. But
so I talk in a lot of my lessons. I talk about 2 really different techniques: alternating picking and then cross picking.
Right.
And alternating picking is more like strumming, where you never break the rhythm. It's down on the beats and up on the ands. And then cross picking, you go whatever direction is most efficient to get you to the next string. So you might do 3 downs in a row before you do an up.
Yeah, like that.
That's a more difficult technique actually to learn. Like, I don't want people to learn that as their first technique. It's like you want the alternating to be your baseline first.
Right.
Then you work on cross picking, because what alternating does is it keeps you in time. You've got your own metronome going here, and as soon as you go into cross picking, you have to control it better.
Yeah.
So a lot of bluegrass stuff and folk stuff just has a simple melody picked out while you strum. Let's hear something. Like what? Even Wildwood Flower, or I don't know, whatever, Just give me a quick example.
Well, I'll play something kind of simple and relatable here. It's I was gonna do a little teaching video of this one too, but I'll just briefly go into it. It's Wildwood Flower, and this one actually, what I'm going to do, it incorporates. The melody will be distinct. I'm doing this all with the flat pick, not the finger. Sometimes I use my middle finger to sort of get an ersatz sort of finger picking style.
Yeah.
See, I'm using the flat pick and I'm using this finger, and I can sort of emulate.
Pick.
I can't do the kinds of things that like I run out of fingers, but I I can't do stuff that's like really super intricate. But I do that in my playing. But I'm digressing here. Wildwood Flower is a Carter family song. It's recorded in the late 20s, and the melody goes like this. Now I'm sort of exaggerating for effect there. Those are mostly downstrokes, but if I was to play it down and up so I'm kind of flat picking there. This is a simple melody, so when it's slower you can actually do one downstroke or more than one downstroke in a row, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the rhythm part here. So that's the rhythm part to the first part of Wildwood Flower, and when I put them all together with the melody and the strumming...
Let's play it together once where I'll strum the chords and you play the melody.
Okay.
Let's play it as a duet.
All right.
And so they can hear what the song sounds like with just a rhythm guitar and lead guitar.
Okay.
Take it.
1, 2, 3... So what was happening there is Neil was doing the rhythm part that I was just playing, and I was playing the melody. Now this is, you know, I'm trying to, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play, how if I was going to do this by myself, I would play it like this with kind of a strumming going on. I'm keeping the strumming going like what Neil was doing there, but I'm also going to kind of intersperse the melody in there where you'll be able to hear it. So here we go. This is.
Let's hear it.
So that
Really
basically,
nice.
thank you.
Yeah.
That basically, I don't consider flat picking to just be, you know, like really lightning fast fiddle tunes or something really pyrotechnical. You know, it's use of the pick to kind of flesh out a melody, and you can also playing rhythm. You know, it's like and mostly alternating strokes. Like if I was going to do a tune like, I'll just play a real brief thing. What I mean by alternating would be something like Blackberry Blossom. This is, it kind of goes. So that was primarily alternating strokes, you know.
So that's a good example of a fiddle tune.
That's a fiddle tune. I wasn't really meaning to get into that today, but I know
No, that's okay. No, actually, let's talk about
kind
that
of
a little
talking about, you know, the alternating strokes. And in
Yeah.
Wildwood Flower, there is some alternation, but it's actually probably a simpler tune for a beginner to
Yeah.
play, because
Yeah.
you basically can just play the rhythm.
Yeah.
But it's not a big stretch to go.
Yeah,
You
just get the
notice-
melody to come out a little bit.
You notice what I'm doing there is I'm doing the alternating back and forth strum, but I'm also accenting certain notes so that you can hear the melody. My movements are kind of exaggerated there, but it kind of gives you the idea that using a pick, you can actually get, you know, it's not just rhythm or playing lead. You can kind of combine both and get a full sound.
Yeah.
Norman Blake does this very successfully. He's one of my favorite flat pickers. He plays a style where he can do the really fast stuff, but he also does the thing where he's playing all across the strings and you're hearing that melody.
It's just moving slightly or something in
Yeah,
the middle of the mess.
Right. And Wildwood Flower is primarily out of C position, and then it goes to G very briefly and F very briefly. So everything's in the first position. There's no bar chords. So I think it's probably a good one to, you know, I can break it down during the actual lesson part. But
We'll get to a lesson on that pretty soon.
But go ahead, Neil. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, so Blackberry Blossom now, in order to play something like that, you have to spend a lot of time practicing playing scales, because there's a technical level of speed,
Yes, you're absolutely
there
right.
that is important, or that is important to the song, you know. And we could play Blackberry Blossom the same way we just did Wildwood Flower. I could be strumming the chords and you could be playing it.
Yeah.
Because what you had there was pretty much just the lead, just the melody.
Yeah, that was
that's
the
what you do
melody.
in fiddle tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. They're generally more duets where you want a rhythm. You play this with
Yeah.
a band, a mandolin player, maybe a bass player, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For it to be really full and everybody take turns playing the leads and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah. And that one, was the more the back and forth alternating flat picking, and you do have scales are very important to at least get your fingers going, you know, and also to, you know, get an evenness as far as changing from one string to the other. You know, as you practice, when you start off, you're kind of going.
Just finding the notes, kind of casting about in the dark almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing the alternating.
Yeah. Okay, so it takes years to get to that.
Well, I'm sorry.
From those, no. That's okay. Because sometimes people are so intent on learning songs that they don't necessarily go back to really polish the techniques they need to do things like that. And this style of playing really requires a lot of technical skill, especially more than Wildwood Flower, just because of... So you do have to have that quick motion.
Yeah, and I was trying to illustrate that flat picking shouldn't be, some people think, oh, flat picking, that's just, I'll never be able to do that. It's just too scary. It's somebody like, they hear somebody like a Doc Watson or somebody playing Salt Creek really fast, but flat picking can be simple. It's like Wildwood Flower or any song you play. I mean, you could take any song. You could take a song by Neil Young and play it using a pick. Basically it's flat picking. When you're using a pick and you're defining a melody, or you're flat picking. It can be done. It can be taken into any musical idiom, really.
Yeah, everything all the way to Pete Townsend windmills.
Well, yeah, that's really fast. Yeah, I mean, you have to really.
Yeah, you got to be. It's suicidal.
Yeah, I'd probably beat myself to death.
I think so. Yeah, a little misplay there. So.